Often during the initial stages of romance, you're so desperate to bamboozle the magical creature sitting before you into mistaking you for a three-dimensional human being that you'll resort to telling ridiculous little lies in a bid to pretend the pair of you have something in common apart from your chronic addiction to oxygen.
Have you seen the Ceausescu execution video? It's really very funny.
Yeah, I do that too.
And the thing is, you're both doing this, so once the fog of war has dissipated, you're left with two people who covertly pretended to be two slightly different people, fused together into one confused two-person chain gang. Not that you'll notice in the early days, no, you'll be too busy getting off with each other, which is as close as you'll get to enjoying the heightened passion of couples in the movies. Couples in the movies suffer from an insane level of desire, and they're always rutting outdoors like farmyard animals. They're often seen making out in the rain, in the snow. Actually, I think hail is the only unromantic weather condition. Dramas tend to portray sex between lovers as a wild, untamed, passionate, but ultimately hygienic expression of primal lust, which usually focuses on the woman's fulfilled face. You don't really see male expressions during lovemaking unless you study the cinema verite end of the romance market, where you discover that during sex, men tend to pull faces like they're concentrating hard on their craft in a key-cutting shop, or stumbling in a pair of uncomfortable shoes, operating a hammer drill, or playing keyboards for Depeche Mode. For years, to find that kind of frank material, you had to look to home video, until AIDS came along, at which point people on screen were allowed to graphically discuss sex, even in searing teen dramas.
No.
No. Still, that doesn't mean we couldn't,
Or even...
Today, intercourse is everywhere, and not just after the watershed. No, it's even infected the cosy world of daytime TV.
We've got Diana on the line now. Hi, Diana.
Hi.
Well, you've got no kids, but you suffer from a blocked vagina.
Apparently, sexual imagery is everywhere, even in the cheery world of children's television and the playful Big Cook, Little Cook.
Be careful, Ben! Oh, no! Don't worry, Ben. I'll just lick it up.
Anyway, despite this erotic bombardment, before long there'll be more sex on your bedroom TV than there is in your bedroom bed, but that's only natural. Research suggests that the first blossoming of love is accompanied by an increase in levels of a protein known as nerve growth factor, or NGF, which is thought to provoke butterflies in the stomach, sweaty palms, euphoria, you know, all that love shit. But NGF levels subside once a couple has been together for about a year, after which point, if you're lucky, that exhilarating rush of lust is transformed into a bond of loving companionship. Love is like the flu. People often think they're experiencing it, but most of the time it's just a cold, and they only realise it was just a cold years later when they finally catch the flu for real, by which point they've got engaged to bloody Ian. TV and the movies don't really provide many accurate examples of coupledom. Most fictional romances finish at the point of consummation, as though the hero's penis is a drawing pin that bursts the fictional universe bubble the moment he sticks it in. When long-term couples are portrayed, they tend to either be seen as sexless, winsome twosomes like Terry and June, or warring partners who apparently despise one another and whose mutual hatred is played for laughs, such as Jack and Vera Duckworth from the sitcom-style soap Coronation Street.
How the hell you could lose a brand new suit, I do not know.
Don't go on, Vera.
Or they're warring partners whose mutual hatred is played for unlaughs, like Den and Angie from the sober-minute Woefest EastEnders.
Will you stop it? Will you stop avoiding the issue?
Of course, real-life relationships aren't nearly this cosy. Tolerance, that's true love. In fact, I'd define true love as the ability to share one fridge with the same person for 17 years without resorting to fists. It also helps if you toss in the occasional basic crumb of affection.
Would you say you're disillusioned about
Yes,
marriage?
yes.
Don't think marriage is all it's cracked up to be? No.
No?
Does your husband show his gratitude to you in any way for all you've done? He doesn't?
No.
No way at all?
No, not really, no.
Does he ever buy you anything?
No.
Never bought you any flowers?
No.
Would you like that if he did?
Oh, yes.
Yes, unless you cultivate a meaningful, quiet, unshowy love for each other, once the NGF leaves town, the dull tedium of life will wear your union down. It's like being cellmates, except neither of you has to defecate in a bucket now and then while the other one lies on a bunk, silently facing the wall. Every day the same person murping on and on about the same 3 or 4 subjects through their mouth, which not so long ago was a delicate, beautiful thing you enjoyed kissing, but now is just a sort of underwhelming content delivery system. Oh, you had a day at work, did you? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that does sound miserable. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me all about it. Tell me all about your life in detail forever. On and on burbles their mush cave, talking about stuff that happened to them and things they consider important, sharing their feelings while you just point your face in their direction and hope that your expression doesn't betray your aching isolation and your raging need to just open your own mouth and shout, "Oh, for God's sake, just shut up! Shut up!" And all the while, the emotional rocket fuel that propelled you into this situation in the first place was expended long ago. Now there's no momentum left. So what do? Well, you sit there anaesthetising yourselves together, watching more television. Yeah, staring at the same machine that helped you into this mess, the machine that threw pretty folk at you till your own self-worth was shat through a bin bag, the machine that said true love meant grand gestures and rampant sex, that hammered home the false idea of the perfect soulmate, which a flawed human partner with their toenails and earwax simply doesn't seem to be anymore. Television, the machine that wiped its arse on your Valentines. If your relationship is teetering on the brink of collapse, there is one thing TV can do to help. It can help make the breakup entertaining. Take Breaking Up with Shannon Doherty, one of the cruelest shows ever devised, in which former 90210 villainess Shannon Doherty helped members of the public carry out televised dumpings of unwanted partners. For instance, in one episode, Shannon meets caring new man Jeremy here, who's getting fed up with his girlfriend Lydia on the grounds that she's too possessive and doesn't trust him. Shannon convinces Jeremy to convince Lydia to take a job manning phones on a relationship hotline. Meanwhile, rather than realising what a horrible thing they're doing and staring deep into their own souls, Jeremy and Shannon sit backstage enjoying the fun and bitching about how Lydia's brought this on herself.
So she does these crazy things and then cries.
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
back off.
Like, I think she does it because she cares.
You know, that seems to be like one of the biggest misconceptions, is that people are jealous because they care. I actually think that jealousy has nothing to do with caring.
Yeah.
Well, that's the moral high ground taken care of. Anyway, the fun really kicks off once Shannon pops in person. This looks like Beadle's About, except Shannon differs from Beadle in 2 ways. She doesn't have to peel her beard off because she's had electrolysis, and she's not dead on the outside. Then the cow gets straight down to business, playing Lydia a special message from Jeremy in which he tactfully refers to her in the past tense.
Hey Lydia, I really enjoyed a lot of the time I spent with you. I think you're a really great person, but I am going to have to break up with you.
Meanwhile, he watches backstage crying. Oh, at least it's educational. I never knew jackals had tear ducts.
This just isn't for me anymore.
Okay, that's... take care of that.
Where is he?
He's in the bravery room, you know, the special room for really big brave men. Fictional televised breakups tend to be unrealistically dignified affairs involving 2 people who've realised that while they're in love, it's not quite perfect, and so they must part with as much wounded nobility as possible.
Serena. I still...
Which, as well as being bloody stupid, perpetuates the myth of the perfect relationship.
Me too.
You bloody idiots! You bloody idiot! You bloody idiots!
I love you.
You stupid bloody idiots! Idiots! A real-life breakup can be a huge personal tragedy, the worst thing that ever happened to you, your own personal 9/11 overshadowing any actual news happening that day.
And if you just joined us, this is the scene in South London outside Oliver Hammond's home. We're expecting his girlfriend, Siobhan Lane, to arrive shortly, and all sources indicate she intends to terminate their 18-month relationship. Well, on the line now is Rita Sharma, friend and work colleague of Siobhan. Rita, is this a surprise?
Not really. I think we've all seen it coming. She's been getting suspiciously close with her friend David, who's just been through
Sorry there to interrupt you, Rita. It looks like Siobhan is now arriving at the house.
Miss Lane, can you tell us what you're about to say?
Miss Lane, can you tell us how you're feeling?
Miss Lane, how does Mr. Hammond feel about what you're about to say?
Well, Ms. Lane clearly not giving much away there. So we're not really sure at this stage what's going on.
Have they got that right?
Inside, we'll certainly try our best to find out what is actually happening in there. Well, there's in the studio now a special breakup correspondent, Daniel Patat.
Daniel, what's going on inside there right now?
Well, we can only speculate, but the likelihood is she's rather bluntly explaining it's over. Probably not
looking him in the eye, although she's had the decency to do this face to face, so that's something. For his part, he'll doubtless fall to his knees, ask her to reconsider. There'll be some kind of humiliating display of anguish.
Tears, gulps, mucus running from the nose.
A scene of abject desperation, then?
Absolutely. You have to remember, this man's
world is ending, so he'll grasp at any remaining atom of hope, like a basic, horrified creature, utterly debasing himself in the process.
Is there any chance his degrading pleas might actually work?
None whatsoever. In fact, it'll probably strengthen her resolve. If we look at this cycle of ruin, we can see the more despondent he becomes, the less attractive he appears, which in turn makes
him more despondent, and so on, until the whole thing spirals out of control, and before you know it, he's lost her forever.
It looks like Miss Lane is coming out now, so let's go live to the scene.
Miss Lane, can you confirm the relationship is over? Can you confirm? Did you know how Mr. Hammond's crying? Is it definite? Is he crying right now?
Still tight-lipped there. I suppose the question is now, what will Oliver do next?
Absolutely.
And the answer is, well, he'll probably crawl over to the sofa and lie there feeling sorry for himself. He'll sniff, he'll wipe his nose, he'll run his hand through his hair, do a sad little cough.
Then he'll probably have the odd moment
of serenity before glancing at a photograph of him and Siobhan together and starting to blub again.
And now you've got to step back on the treadmill and go through the entire dispiriting process all over again, trying to find someone attractive, taking them on dates, having sex with them, sharing your feelings. Sickening, isn't it? And all because you're so desperate to find the one, this mythical, impossible one who probably never existed in the first place. Which means, unless you're very lucky, you'll wind up feeling like you're just settling. You know, there aren't enough love songs about just settling.
I'm ready, girl. Hey baby, we've been together for a while now. And there is something I want to say to you. Yeah. Girl, you're not quite everything that I had hoped you'd be. You're not that good looking, and I'm not really impressed by your personality. Yeah, I'll break it down, but I've been searching so long, so it's time I said to you, 'cause I don't wanna be alone. At the risk of not finding better, girl, you're due. At the risk of not finding better, girl, you're due. You're pretty dumb, baby. You are so tall. Let her know, man. You're not the best, but you're due for now. You're due, you're due, you're due. Oh, you're due. We're here to say to you, as far